The Dodgers finally expected to solve the shortstop conundrum. It looks like their problem at shortstop is finally going to be solved in the upcoming 2025 season. I'm here to tell you all about it in this edition of Dodgers Digest. Hey, this is Mike Nelson. Make sure to subscribe. I want to thank the almost 7% of you, the ones that are watching these videos, have already hit the sub button. But 92% of you have not subscribed. You know, myself and Brad J will bring you everyday content. You don't want to miss out, so hit that subscribe button. I want to thank you. Almost over 4,000 of you already have jumped on the program. Of course, following the greatest team ever in baseball, the Dodgers. Let's get right into it. So, ex-MLB GM Jim Bowden predicting for the Dodgers. That's right, Willy Adames. That's right. This is a big deal. If the Dodgers can get Willy Adames, this would be absolutely game-changing, right? This is game-changing. And we already have kind of an idea of what the Dodgers are going to go for. What kind of an offer sheet they're going to offer. What kind of offer sheet? That doesn't make sense. What kind of offer sheet they're going to, offer to Willy Adames, right? I mean, this is big news to say the least. And Jim Bowden is predicting a 6-year, $150 million deal for Willy Adames with the Dodgers this offseason. Of course, he is finally a free agent. He left the door open for a reunion with the Brewers, but we already got Will Salmon and Katie Wu of The Athletic writing. The reality is that Adames likely ends up somewhere else, right? And come on, who wants to stay in Milwaukee? I mean, if you ever been, sorry for those of you who live out in Wisconsin, but you gotta get to LA, man. This is the place to be. LA is a place to be, to make a name for yourself. Willy Adames he's a very talented player, right? I mean, look at his stats from the 2024 season. Solid hitting, 251 average, walked 74 times, 153 hits. I mean, it was a solid year for Adames. He did strike out, a little over strikeout per game, 173. He tends to strike out. But Willy Adames is an elite infielder, right? I mean, this guy is one of the best shortstops in the game. And, with the talk of James Outman, right, it didn't work out too well in the outfield for him. Tommy Edman can slip in out there, and that's when Willy Adames finds an everyday spot here at shortstop, right? Because Miguel Rojas is still part of this team, but for him to be the everyday shortstop at this point of his career is a bit much, right? And that's when Willy Adames could do it. He could be that guy. Miguel Rojas can always play third base. And, you have Max Muncy as well. There's so many options. This team, the Dodgers, are stacked. And Willy Adames being added to this already stacked roster in the infield and outfield, it just gives the Dodgers even more flexibility. And it adds a bat. I mean, Willy Adames is a solid hitter. This guy is not... Tommy Edman, don't get me wrong, was great in the playoffs for us, right? I mean, this guy was extraordinary for the Dodgers in the playoffs. But to think that Tommy Edman is going to repeat that success during the regular season in 2025 is a bit naive, right? I don't know what you guys think. Comment below. Do you think Tommy Edman can be relied upon offensively moving forward? Or do the Dodgers need to get a more solid hitter at that position in Willy Adames? I think they should. I think it's worth it going over that offer sheet again that Jim Bowden predicted. 6 years, $150 million. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of money. It's not a lot of money for this team. This team can't afford it. The Dodgers can afford it. They got enough money. They got more than enough money to put on the table for guys like this. And I really think that it would be, beneficial to the Dodgers, right? I think it'd be beneficial for them to kind of go after a player like this to really, like I mentioned, solidify the infield and, solidify already a potent lineup. The Dodgers are the best lineup in baseball. They are. They're the best lineup in baseball in terms of their batting lineup. They're probably one of the best offenses in baseball history. They're the best offense I've ever seen in modern baseball history, and that was proven this year when they were crowned World Series champions. That's right. The Dodgers won the World Series, remember, a week ago today, right? Let's just remember that. A week ago today, we were celebrating the 8th World Series of the Dodgers when they defeated the Yankees in 5 games. Game 5 was last Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. So just keep that in your head. October 30th, 2024. That will forever be a day that we will celebrate because it was a special day, right? But going back to the original point, Willy Adames, I think, is some player that they should try to go after. You know, he's had a bit of a playoff experience, right, with the Brewers. You know, he, of course, never made the World Series, but you know, he's kind of been in there. He's been in the battles, right? He's played competitive baseball. So I think him coming to the Dodgers is kind of like Teoscar Hernández, right? He had already kind of played competitive baseball with the Blue Jays and maybe Mariners, right? He'd already kind of been in the fight, right? Because some of these guys are playing on teams that are absolutely awful, right? They're like nowhere near the playoff standings. They're like nowhere near even close to making the playoffs, right? But in this case, Adames is a player that, you know, he's been in there, right? He knows how it works, how to play meaningful baseball. So I think the Dodgers got to go for it. I think it's a win-win for them. It has to be a win-win. I mean, the only downside about this is, of course, you know, you got to move Tommy Edman to the outfield, but Tommy Edman can play in the outfield. You know, because he can. He knows how to do it. The Dodgers have players that can play multiple positions. And him sliding in there at shortstop, I think would sound great. I think it'd be something that would benefit, you know, him personally, right? Because I think a lot of, think about it. You ask the average baseball fan. Ask your average baseball fan that maybe doesn't watch the games. I know some of you out there are only watching the playoffs and World Series, but that's okay. Do you know who Willy Adames is, right? And him coming to the Dodgers kind of, you know, puts him in a different stratosphere, right? I think that's what a lot of guys, when they make their choices on what team they want to go to when they're in free agency, they go to teams that will put them in a different level. They will put them in a level that's going to give them more notoriety and give them more attention and help, of course, help them financially and kind of put them in a higher place, right? And that's what the Dodgers can do for Willy Adames. That's exactly what they could do for him. And what he could do for the Dodgers is also a lot, right? He could do a lot with his fielding. As we know, fielding is very important. We saw it during the playoffs. Fielding cannot be overlooked, despite what the talking heads will tell you. I'm a talking head, but I'm telling you different. Anyway, the talking heads, I love those guys. They're an awesome band. Comment below if you're a Talking Heads fan. Love those guys. But anyway, this episode is coming to an end. And, you know, before I go, remember, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We wouldn't be where we are right now if it weren't for you guys. You guys have put us at a different level, right? There we go. Got to thank the fans out there. We thank the fans every day, myself and Brad J. Without you guys, we are nothing. So make sure to subscribe. Thank you for the support. Make sure to like this video. And as always, remember, let's go Dodgers. Woo!